guys, it's Shelly here. Welcome to my channel and thank you for joining me today. On today's video, I'll be sharing with you a haul. I don't remember when the last time was that I shared a haul. I don't think I've done that much shopping recently with regards to books. I don't usually buy that many supplies, but books I do. But yeah, I don't remember when the last time was that I bought any books. But I got sent a few books, Happy Mail, review, and I did a little bit of shopping from Amazon Japan, so I thought I'd come on here and just share with you guys the books, especially the new release ones that I got from Amazon Japan, in case you haven't seen them and it's something that you're interested in, because they've literally, I think, I got 4 books from there and all 4 of them have just recently been released, so I'll show them to you guys in case you haven't yet come across them. I'll start with a couple of the supplies and then I'll go ahead and share with you guys the books. Now, supplies-wise, I'm not going to share with you anything that I was sent for review, because I've already shared it on the channel. So just 2 things that I've actually bought myself. Now, the first thing is a little bottle that I got from Amazon Japan, and it's called Drop of Shimmer. I thought I'd try it by Curake. And apparently it's a little bottle of basically glitter that you can add to inks. So like, you know, your Winsor & Newton inks, for example, if you do calligraphy or writing. Or I think you can add it to your, watercolor paints as well. Now, I don't do much watercolor painting, but I thought that that would be really interesting. If I can change, any color I want into a shimmer color, that would be really interesting. So it just says Glitter and Drop of Shimmer by Curake. We've got a little spatula here to mix, I guess, the shimmer inside the bottle. And yeah, I'm excited to try that out. I don't know when I will, but because I did the order of the books, I decided to just have a look at some stuff, and I came across this and I thought, oh, that will be interesting. Being able to add shimmer to anything that you want. And there was a little dropper, teeny tiny little pipette dropper that you can use to sort of pick up a little bit of the glitter and add it to whatever you want. So I think inks, watercolor paints, that's probably it. Or even things like watercolor pencils, or even Derwent Inktense, for example, pencils. I think that if you were going to use it off a palette, you might be able to add a little bit of shimmer to those as well. So you don't have to use paint. So something to try out. It might be a bit exciting to figure that out. Yeah, I didn't actually think about using it with my watercolor pencils till now. So that might be something interesting to test out. Even, I guess, on that same note, maybe water-based markers as well, like the Tombows. If you're using it off a palette, you can sort of mix the color with some of this glitter. So yeah, very excited to try that out. I struggled earlier to put the spatula back in. I'll do it later. But there we go. So, Drop of Shimmer, Curake. And when I read the instructions that they've sort of given with it, they were talking about adding it to any of your inks. So those of you who use inks a lot, that might be something to try out. Then the only other supply I did get is the Castle Arts Harmonious Collection of Colored Pencils. Now, I don't buy pencils that often, and especially I don't buy, other than the ones that have been reviewed for me, which have been sent for review to me, I don't tend to buy pencils unless I can buy pencils as stock pencils to stock up after, because yeah, I don't like the idea of running out of a pencil and not being able to get it. But I was really intrigued by the colors in this set of pencils, because it's very different to anything I have, I guess, in my collection. And so I did get these pencils to try out. Now, I had very, very long time ago, early on in my coloring journey, tried out Castle Arts, the Castle Arts, not the gold, I think the first one they did, the 120 set, and I liked the colors. They were pigmented, but I wasn't too keen on them compared to my Arbiters, and so I sort of didn't really ever use them other than maybe on 1 or 2 pages, and I've set them aside for my son for later on. So I was umming and ahhing about this set, but I thought because of the colors, they're so unique. as you can see on the swatch here, they're so unique, and I don't have them in any of my other pencil sets. So I thought, okay, I'm going to give it a try and get these pencils. And I was also toying with the idea of getting the pastel set, but I thought that I wanted to first see what the harmonious set is like, because there's lots of pastel colors here. I know they're muted colors, not pastel, but they're quite light colors there. So I thought I'd get these first, see if I enjoy using them before I consider the pastel set. So yeah, I got these pencils, and I really like how, you know, Castle Art usually gives like a little product guide about all their products and how to use the particular set of pencils that they that, you know, is in question, basically. So this one is about specifically the harmonious pencils, and it gives you a little tutorial on creating a little art piece here. And I think you can download the template from their website, it says there, and then you can test it out as they've advised here with all the colors. So I really like that. It's a nice touch, and obviously they gave the swatch card. That's a nice touch, although I'm going to also swatch it out on my own swatch sheets that I'm used to, but I'll leave this one in here. And yeah, so very nice. What's this? Taking your art to the next level, harmonious pencils. So it gives you, again, some tutorials on how to use these pencils, which is brilliant, and I guess it's specific to these pencils. So really, really good information. You don't really get that with any of the other pencil sets usually. So that's great. Oh, that's another tutorial as well. Calla Lily. Beautiful, isn't it? So yeah, I was very interested in the colors, and you get 72 pencils, and I actually really like the matte finish of these pencils. It's different to the other pencils. I like that the full barrel is this color, is the color of the pencil, because I think the first Castle Art set I ever got, and I actually didn't buy that set. I won it in a giveaway, and I hadn't started my channel at the time. I just won it on Instagram. And that one, I think, if I'm not mistaken, was black. Oh, I can't remember now, but I really like these matte finish pencils. It's a round barrel. It has the Castle Arts logo there. It says harmonious. We have pencil number there with HA for specifying that it's the harmonious set, and the pencil name as well. So that's brilliant. It feels nice. And then we've got the dipped or the covered end there. I haven't yet sharpened them, so I swatched this out without sharpening them. Now, you don't usually do that, but I was really, really excited to see what the colors were like. Look at those, such beautiful colors. So I couldn't resist. I decided I'll give it a try, and I'll see how I can incorporate these. I don't think I can use these just on its own for coloring myself, because of my style of coloring. It's quite bright, it's quite deep. So the muted tones, I think I would try and incorporate it with the pencils I have. So my Faber-Castell Albert Dürer pencils and my Pablos, or any of the other sets. I can always test it out with the other budget sets I have. But yeah, beautiful colors. So I decided to take the plunge and try them out, see what I think. And I like the tin and everything. The artwork they put on their tins are just so beautiful. And yeah, I'll see how it works with my pencils. And then if I feel I need the pastels, I don't think I will need the pastels now that I have some very light colors here. Unless you guys think that I do, let me know if you have both the sets and you think that the pastels add anything to this set. So the pastel tint, I think it's called, Castle Arts pastel tint set. It's a smaller set, but if you have both sets and you think it does actually add some value to this set, then let me know, and I don't know, I won't get it straight away, but I might consider getting it in the future. But definitely happy to have this set and to try out these very unique colors. So Castle Art 72 Harmonious Color Collection. Beautiful pencil set. All right, then I'm going on to my books now, and I'm going to start with my Happy Mail. And it was definitely Happy Mail because it was completely out of the blue, and I was so surprised. And it's very rare that I'm surprised about receiving anything, to be honest. Even when my husband shops from my wish list, I always know something is coming. So I got 2 books very, very kindly sent to me by Evolet. She's on Instagram, and her Instagram handle is @thecoloringmermaid, and she did allow me to share her name. And thank you, Evolet, for sending me these beautiful books. Now, these were actually on my wish list for so long, and I've just been delaying actually buying them. I've always been eyeing up this book by Diane Dufour, Nature, or obviously it's probably French, so I've pronounced it completely wrong. I've pronounced it English, but I won't try and pronounce it French, but Nature. And then obviously Hannah Carlson's Tales from Atlantis. I still hadn't got my hands on it. I don't even have my hands on, which one? Tales from City Among the Stars. I still don't have that one. So I sort of stagger out my buys usually, especially if they're easy to get books. So it was so nice to receive this, and such a beautiful surprise, and I was so happy. I don't think I've been that surprised in such a long time. So thank you, Evolet. And she left a message for me. She said, because of you and your beginners tutorials, I found my way into adult coloring in the most amazing community. How beautiful is that? I can't express how thankful I am, and I hope you like this book as much as I am. Thank you so much, Evolet. I know it's come from your heart, and I will cherish these books. And hopefully get round to colouring in them very soon. Now, these are not new books, guys, so you'll have seen flip throughs, so there's no point of me doing any thorough flip throughs of these books, but I am so excited to have this book in my collection, and I really, really do want to colour in it soon. Such a beautiful book. Hannah Carlson, of course. Evolet, your choices of books were just amazing. Quality of the books and the artwork, just right up my street. You chose, art styles that I absolutely adore. So the perfect picks. Thank you. Beautiful. So yes, already this has been around for a little while now. When was it released? Oh wow, 2023. I did not realize that. I thought it was last year. Okay, so I'm way behind. So yeah, there's lots of people who have colored in these now as well, but it's just, her artwork is beautiful. I think from all the new books, my least favorite is probably City Among the Stars, but I really liked this book. I was just waiting to buy it, really. I don't have to now. Thank you so much. It's a beautiful book by Hannah Carlson, Tales from Atlantis. And then the second book she got me as Happy Mail was Nature, Diane Dufour's. And I love her artwork and the quality of these arts. It's an art therapy book, and the quality of these art therapy books is outstanding. It's so amazing colouring in these books. So again, such a beautiful pick for me. I do really like her work, and I have been admiring this book for absolutely ages. Look at that. So it is bigger than her other books, which is Boule de Poix and Nonour Therapy, but it is smaller than, it is a sort of square, but it is smaller than our standard, Johanna Basford, Kirby Rosan's, and Melpomene's books. Okay, but the artwork, her artwork is just absolutely stunning. So you do have some pages like this, which is a bit repetitive, and then you have her beautiful illustrations like that. Look at that. I'm going to absolutely enjoy it. I love that one. So again, there must be flip throughs out there. I haven't seen any recently, but it's an old book again. 2022. It's been in my wish list for so long, and every time I look at my wish list, there's a couple of books that are sort of top priority in my mind, and this was one of them. And I always look at it and I'm like, okay, maybe on my next Amazon UK, buy, I will get it. So yeah, 2 books that were actually very high up in my wishes. You managed to get it spot on for me. That is beautiful. Reminds me of Kenya, although I don't think it would be Kenya, maybe Tanzania with Mount Kilimanjaro in the back there, the savannah. It's absolutely stunning. Just love how she's done this page, and it's sort of realistic, but yet the expressions, the expressions in the animals are quite cartoony. but then the image itself is so realistic. I don't know how she does it. It's just absolutely beautiful. Look at that. I'm so excited to have this in my collection, Evolet. So excited. And I just need to get started. Wow. Shells. So that would be nice to sort of practice certain elements as well, like shells, different colors of shells. And it is beautiful. Wow. I don't color butterflies that often, so that will be nice to practice some color combinations for butterflies. Love that. Beautiful. Look at the lips on them. Those will more than likely be goldfish for me. I don't know. We'll see when I come to color it. Beautiful. Thank you for the happy mail. And I will cherish these. I will color in them. I will shower lots and lots of love into my pages when I color in these books. So thank you so much for this happy mail. I'm still so excited from it. All right, and I think I got that in January. It might have been in January, but I hadn't bought anything else, so I hadn't yet done a haul. And yeah, I think my parents were there at that time, and when I received it, and I was just so excited. They were so excited when I received it. All right, then I have 2 books from Lomart, and these were sent to me as pre-release copies. Melpomene's Chatsi Panagitu's book, and Kirby Roseanne's Dark Fairy Tales. I think Melpomene's book is now out. I think it was supposed to come out end of February, and Kirby Roseanne's is coming out in March. Now, I have done separate flip-throughs of these books on the channel, so you can always have a look at the separate flip-throughs, but they are beautiful books, and I do want to get started in them. So I think I really like that page. I just haven't chosen a page in this book yet, but I think I'm going to keep it aside after this whole video and see if I can tackle something. I really like that page as well. It's going to end up being one of the busy pages, so it's going to take me absolutely ages to do and to figure out what to do with the background and things like that. But yeah, very excited to play in this book. Yes, it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite. Circle of Life is still my favorite book. I love her mandala book. I love Enchanted Earth. This one might be, I don't know. I want to say my least favorite. I still absolutely adore her style. I think it's just the theme. So the fantasy animals, like, which I'm not sure what to do with yet, but everything else, all her florals, her scenes, is just absolutely stunning. And I love that she's doing a few more portraits, and that one's beautiful. But my mind works very like conventional, so it's very hard for me to find fantasy sort of color palettes. So it will be a nice challenge, and I'm going to enjoy this book, definitely. So Dream Voyage by Melpomene Chatsi-Panagitu. And we obviously have Kirby Roseanne's Dark Fairy Tales. Now, again, both these books have had a mix of opinions. So a lot of people do like the fantasy element of Melpomene's book, and it's actually their favorite book. A lot of people are like me on the fence, and this one, Kirby's, again, it's torn people in half. Some people absolutely adore the book, some people are not so keen on it. I actually really like it, surprisingly, because I don't go for horror, but his artwork is just absolutely beautiful in every book that he has, but for some reason in this book it is calling out to me, and I don't do horror, but I really, really like this book. And I can see myself coloring it, taking on the challenge of all these busy pages. I have this page picked out with a buddy for March, so hopefully I can get started on this very soon. I'm so optimistic about my coloring all the time, and then sometimes it just doesn't happen. But yeah, beautiful artwork. Certain illustrations are just outstanding. Some illustrations are very different from him, but again, I've done a full flip through and a chat about it, so I won't spend too much time on it. But yeah, stunning, stunning book in my opinion. I know some people absolutely do not like it at all. Some people are not going to be buying it. Some people absolutely love it. So, Dark Fairy Tales by Kirby Roseanne. All right, guys, now, so those were the 2 review books and the 2 Happy Mail books. So thank you for Low March for sending them to me, and to Evolet for sending me the 2 books as well. I absolutely love them. All right, my 4 books from Amazon Japan now. Some of these I don't think you, actually I don't know if you would have seen. I knew, basically I did a shop from Amazon Japan because of Kanoko Egusa's book, and when I went on there to buy her book, I was just looking around and a couple of others grabbed my attention. So the first one was actually this book, and it's part of the Tokimeku series, which a lot of us absolutely love, and it's an artist we've had before, Mona. I am just trying to think of the name of the other book. Let me just get it. It is this book. So this was her first book in the Tokimeku series, Mona's Yoshiko Squirrel and the Residents of Antique Town. That's why I couldn't remember. It's a long one. I could remember Squirrel, I could remember Antique Town. I couldn't put them together. All right, so that's the book there. And I absolutely love the style of this book because it's so detailed in a way, but it's detailed, and I've realized it's teeny tiny. I'm going to come back to that point in a minute, but the way she does the scenes is absolutely beautiful. I love that it's a story about the squirrels and about the other residents in a little town, but I just love her full page scenes and the way she's drawn them. It's absolutely stunning. I did this 1 page here in November. It was supposed to be for Halloween, but I finished it at the end of November. But I absolutely adored coloring it. Like I said, the quality of these books is just absolutely stunning to color in. Look at that double page spread. Beautiful, beautiful book. And so when I saw that her name came up, this is her 2nd book in the series, and it is thinner. They always come out with a thinner 2nd book for some reason. I shouldn't complain because I've only done 1 page in this book, so this one will last me absolutely ages anyways. But yeah, it is a thinner book, but other than that, it's the same dimensions and it's the same beautiful paper. This one is called Wonderful Houses in an Imaginary World. I'll try and remember to link these books. I'm not very good at linking books in my videos, especially the books that are not as easy to find. Here is the ISBN in case you do want it to find the book, and let's just get to it. So I didn't even look at the name of the book. I literally just saw that it's Mona. I saw the front cover. I knew that I love her first book and I went for it. And that's very rare for me to do. Now, these books do have a few colored versions at the beginning to sort of show you an idea of how the illustrations can look. So that's a colored pencil version of a page. That is a watercolor style of a page. So it gives you some nice samples to give you an idea of how you can approach the artwork in this book, or you can do whatever you want, your own style. Some tutorials, which I've never really followed because, of course, you can use Google Translate to translate it. And then you have a QR code here, which you can then, and it gives you some instructions on how to get the PDF version of the book, which is brilliant. So you can have a 2nd copy, or you can print it on paper that you like. And sometimes for some of these books, you get the colored version of every single page as well. So again, good inspiration. And then we go into the book. Now, like I said, I did not read the title of the book, and it's what did I say it was called? Wonderful Houses in an Imaginary World. Now, I'm not a person for exterior buildings that much. I don't know how to approach them, but I think this will be a challenging book for me. So because of that, so I did not realize that there's going to be tons of buildings in here, but it says that in the title. But look at that. That's her art style is absolutely beautiful. However, I do find I did a very quick flip, and now I'm going to look through it again with you guys. And I do find in certain pages the details are absolutely tiny and lots of detail. Like if you look at, oh, that's nice, a couple of Christmas pages. I'm going to do a flip through of these ones in case you haven't seen them. But yeah, some of the details are absolutely tiny. Like look how many teeny tiny teddy bears there are there. Once they're colored, they'll be beautiful. But my approach for this particular book will be different to how I normally color. These are beautiful. So that's a colored version we've seen already at the beginning of the book. So like, look at this page here. So yes, it's about the buildings, it's about the interiors of the buildings, the contents of the buildings, and I find the contents of the buildings so teeny tiny. So like this little bit probably takes up, I don't know, a third of the page, less than, maybe quarter of the page, and then within that quarter you have all those teeny tiny details or little objects to color. Now, as you guys know, I love coloring, shading, creating my 3D effects. And when you have such tiny elements, it's not easy to do that. So I am going to have a different approach to coloring in this book because of those tiny details. Some of them are absolutely fine, but some of them, like, look at this little, is it a Christmas tree there? Look at that little Christmas tree there. Look at the tiny details. So I'm not going to be able to use my same approach to coloring. Usually on a page, every single element, I work on the shadows and highlights, and that's I like that challenge. I find it exciting. It taps into my creativeness. It just makes it a bit more fun for me. That's my coloring style. So these tiny things, I'm not going to be able to do that. So I'm going to have to see how I'm going to approach those tiny elements. But the artwork is still absolutely beautiful. Now, when I first flipped through this, I straight away turned around to my husband and I'm like, I've made a mistake. I should have waited for flip throughs to see what, other people's opinions are, because when you look at it on Amazon, it's very hard. I absolutely love this page. It's very hard to tell actually how tiny the details are and things like that. Like, look at all those books and how tiny they are. So I usually wait for flip throughs, but because I knew I absolutely loved her first book, I just went for it this time, and I don't do that very often. So I was actually contemplating returning the book, but now when I'm looking at it again, there are certain pages which are a bit simpler, a bit, bigger details. And then I think I just have to figure out how I'm going to color the tiny details. And I have to just come to terms with the fact that I'm not going to be able to do all the shading I want to do like I normally do, on every single object on the page. Look at that. That's beautiful, actually. Look at the post office. I noticed the little penguin here, so I thought I'd bring it up close. So cute. And then the other thing about this book that's a bit different to my style is that, as I tell you guys, I love scenes, I love landscapes. I like a whole, not single elements just on a page. And this one, even though it's doing houses and stuff, but there are a few different houses on the page. So it doesn't become a full scene. So that's a little bit challenging for me to tackle pages like that. So, like, there's this random table there, which is sort of separate from that building there, which is a very different building to what that building there is. And obviously we can Google Translate and see what each building is supposed to be. But yeah, so it's going to be a very different coloring book for me. But I like it. I like her style, so I will enjoy it. But yeah, very tiny details. So those of you who do struggle with tiny details, or your eyesight, and you like larger elements to color, this may not be a book for you, because there's lots of teeny tiny, like, grapes there that you can barely see. It's smaller than my little nail. So yeah, so tiny details that you may not enjoy if you do struggle with tiny elements on a page, but they're absolutely beautiful. Look at her art style. Very different. I do want to translate these. I want to see what the translations are, the little titles of the illustrations are. That's fun. I really enjoy that one. That looks more modern. Beautiful. Obviously I haven't translated it all, so I don't know what it is. That's in space, so that's Earth. Interesting. Different. See, so just snippets of, so it looks more like an artist's sketch, not really a sketchbook because it's a completed page, but her thoughts, like as if she was going to put this little bit on a larger full page, you know what I mean? So just her ideas. That's what it feels like to me sometimes when I'm flipping through them with the smaller elements, but it's cute. And then I think, yeah, here it says the people living in an imaginary world. So there's just certain characters there which don't show up in the book, so we'd need to translate to see what her idea was for this, but maybe it's the actual people that are in those particular in that, what did we say, imaginary world. So people that you might find in this imaginary world, I guess. It would have been nice if there were bigger illustrations with these characters in them. That would be interesting. But beautiful. So I do like her first book more because I think, yes, it's a detailed book, but the elements are not as tiny to color. I like that it has the characters built into the story within the book. So you have those squirrels and you have other animals, you know, within the scenes. And I think that's missing in this book for me. But yeah, it's beautiful. For those of you who like architecture, who like interior designing, things like that, it is a beautiful book. And her artwork is just stunning. But my coloring will have to be very different in this book. All right. The second book I got is very different for me. So this one is called Romantic Gothic, I think. Did I see the name somewhere else? Yeah, Romantic Gothic, the London Shirosaki coloring book. And the artist is London Shirosaki. And I did look at her Instagram. I think it's London_222 or something like that. It's not on here, is it? But I did find her Instagram. Oh yeah, there. Oh. Well, it wasn't. It's Twitter or X, London_222, but it's the same on Instagram as well. So yeah, this was a very random pick for me again. I liked the cover, and then I thought, oh, it's portraits. I don't always color people, so I should avoid it. I don't know if I saw some sneak peeks or something, and I thought it's interesting, and it's very different from what I have in my collection. So again, another very detailed book, actually, with lots of tiny details. Not as tiny as Mona's book, but I liked that it's not just the girl. Like, I think there's a similar book to this I've seen before, and there's one coming out again. I won't remember the name, but it's more focused on the portrait. But in this book, you have the cute dolls. They look like dolls to me, but the cute girls with lots of other elements to color, which is what I liked. The paper feels so interesting. It's like, it's paper, but it feels like cloth. Yeah. But, so lots of the details, and I thought it would be fun to color these other elements along with, you know, a person. So that's why I picked it, and it's very different for me, but I'm excited. I think it'll be fun, and I will probably get some inspiration from London. Is that the first name? London Shirosaki. So London's Instagram account, to see what kind of color palettes she uses, because yeah, that will help me tackle these pages. But you can go crazy, you can go colorful, you can go pastel, you can do anything you want actually in these books. Then you have a couple of pages, some pages like this, with just individual elements to color. I really like how it's all drawn. You wouldn't say abstract, but you know, they're not sitting at a table eating these sweets. It's just the people, and then she's sort of thrown around all the sweet treats. It's fun. Look at that. I really like that one. The details in that are not too tiny. So it's a very different book for me, but I'm actually excited to have it in my collection. I think it's nice to have something so different in my collection. It'll be fun to sort of tackle these pages. So there's lots of dresses there in the background. So it's a bit hard to tell in some of these pages what's happening, but that's beautiful. That's a bit simpler. I do like it. I really like this page. And you can go so fun with the colors, I think, and glitter. Obviously, we'd have to test out the mediums. I was going to say, so it is one-sided. It has perforations, actually. I'd noticed somewhere in one of the other first pages here. It is perforated, so you can pull them out. And because it's single-sided, You can use alcohol markers if you want, but I think because the details are so tiny, it'll probably bleed. So you may want to try, first of all, to see how much it bleeds, because I think the paper is such that it is going to bleed across the lines. The line art is thin and the details are tiny, so I don't think alcohol markers will work on this page, in this book. Then we have names of each page as well. Valentine's cat. So I think the name is this page's name is on the back side of the page. So that was Valentine cats. That's soap bubbles. That'll be so fun. Look at those heart bubbles there. So this is a fun book to color. The elements that they are in this book. You have the dresses, you have the little cuddly toys, you have the soap bubble sort of things. You can go so bright, so crazy with your colors. You can go for muted colors, you can go for pastel colors, would work so well on the theme of these pages. What's this? Night festivals, delightful ghosts. Oh, I like that. So we have some Halloween pages. That would be fun. So yeah, I do like this book a lot. It's a lot of tiny details again. Both these books so far has had a lot of tiny details, but I just like the way she draws. That's looks like a carousel to me, but it's not. Sort of a carousel. It's cute. Look at that. So it's sort of like you have your portrait, and it is sort of like abstract illustrations. Love this. The ghost horoscope. It'll be fun. It's a fun book. Nice. But again, for those of you who don't like a lot of detail, or for those of you who don't like teeny tiny details, or who struggle with tiny details, it might not be a book for you again. Fantastic Worlds Daydreams. So this is becoming a long video actually because of these flip throughs. Sorry guys, but I just thought I'd include the flip throughs straight away in this video. I like that. Not sure how I would color the frames in the background, the picture frames. It's cute. Some balloons there to color. And those, you know, the balloon animals that you can, you know, the balloon art. Would you call it balloon art? Probably. It's an art. It will be so fun to color that page. That's a wintry page. Beautiful. I like it. Yeah. I looked at it again. I did a quick flip just to see what it was. I always do a quick check of my books just to make sure the pages are okay and there's no rips or anything, in case I need to return it. I don't know how I would return to Amazon Japan. Oh yeah, I got all these books from Amazon Japan. The Swan and the Butterflies with Eyes on Their Wings. Color sample, it says here. So this page must be in the book somewhere. But look at the color palette. So, oh, this one here. I would not have even thought of this palette. So it would be so nice to check out her artwork and her original color palettes, because I think that would be so fun to try out. My Harmonious pencils will work really well with that. Don't you think, guys? The colors, yeah. As long as the pencils work in this book, though. We don't know what the pencils will work like, but those colors, I think, would come from the Harmonious set, some of them. Nice. And then look how different that color palette is. A tea party with the pixies. Cute. And that's one of the, you know, the individual ones. Nice suggestions. That was one of the ones I said was a bit simpler. Again, love the color palette. The pink with the sort of, to me, it looks like from the Albert Dürer set, like the light tallow green colors. A color. Beautiful. Nice. Is that the front cover? Yes, that's the front cover. And then you have some coloring tips here. Very nice book. I just hope the perforations don't come apart. And then that's it. And I forgot to show you the ISBN for this one. So there you go. And I'll try and remember to link it in the description box. And sorry, I forgot to show you, because I know some people like, I wasn't actually doing a flip through. I was just doing a haul video, but it's turned that into a flip through. But you do get the dust jackets in a lot of these Japanese edition books. So this one was Mona's, yeah. And you got a flap, and I like that because when I color, I take them off so they stay pristine. And this one also has a flap. A dust jacket, what is it called? I've gone blank. And it also has this little thing, which I probably would remove because it'll become a bit frustrating, but there we go. All right, guys, so that was Romantic Gothic by London Sirosaki. Beautiful. I've never come across her work, and I'm excited. It's a nice book to have in my collection, very different. Okay, and then another book which is new, and a new artist to me again. So London Sirosaki and this one were two random picks for me, and I just liked what I saw, and I decided, because I'm doing a shop from Amazon Japan, I might as well get it and see what they're like. Obviously Mona's, I already knew what her art style was. So this one, I think that's the artist, Chip, because it says by Chip, Kuma Country's Kuma Coloring Book by Chip. And I think it's basically about a bear country. So it's a country of bears and his friends, or her friends. So it's a beautiful book. Just the cover itself is just so adorable. Look at that. I love the colored version as well. This is the ISBN. Yeah. And yeah, we go into it. When I first opened the book and I felt this paper, it's like a glossy sort of, you know, tissue paper sort of page, and I'm like, oh no, I will not be able to color in that. And it's shiny. Can you see that? It's glossy. And then obviously it went into the book, and I'm like, okay, that's good. So you get colored versions of each page in this book, which is beautiful. So again, good inspiration. If you want to replicate it, if you just want some inspiration, it's there. I think I will be looking at the color palettes and the way it's done. I will be trying to use it. Like, it'll be lovely to try and replicate that, because I don't know how to do light sources like that in a dark room. So that would be really nice to try out. So it's beautiful and very, very adorable. So that is Bear. I tried to just quickly use my Google Translate app on it. That is Bear, and that's his friends. So I know that's Penguin. I can't remember who that is, but basically it tells you who each character is. So it's Bear and his friends in Bear Country. So how cute is that? So yeah, then we go into the book. Nice thick paper. This is not is it perforated? No, I don't. Yeah, it is perforated. So this one has perforations as well. And it's one-sided. Again, so I would say you could use alcohol markers, but I don't think you'll be able to. The details are absolutely tiny. Again, I did not realize how tiny. I don't know what. I'm going to be proper putting stress on my eyes, but it's just too adorable to miss. And I think, again, my coloring style in this book will have to be different. Now, it is thick, so maybe it's something worth trying with watercolor paints, with a very tiny brush, and then trying to see if I can just put a tiny bit of detail with pencil, possibly. I don't know yet, but that's what I'm thinking. But it's absolutely adorable, and yeah, it gives you a little blurb about each page over the page. So this one, I think I remember it said pancake party, so that's cute, isn't it? And I think this one was hat shop or something like that. So you can see all the tiny little hats in there to color. It's going to take, yeah, each page is going to take a lot of time, and it is a lot of detail. This one was walk in the rain or something like that, and it's absolutely beautiful. I love how they've done like the reflection in the water. And again, the color palette, I think I checked the color palette. That color palette, look at that, with the blues and purples. It's just absolutely stunning. So it'll be really fun to try it out. I wonder what the artist would use. Would they use watercolor paints to have done their original art, their original colored versions? I'm not so sure, but the details are very tiny. Now, I feel like some of the, and it's very sketchy, so it is going to be a challenging book, but if you see those little round things on the leaves, I think they're meant to be droplets, and because it's so tiny, it's going to be really hard to do all those droplets on those. And I think there's also some here on the flowers. I'm not so sure I'll be doing that. Take me absolutely ages. So it's beautiful. Now I didn't translate every single page, so I don't remember. I just remember those first couple. But just, I love that they're all scenes. That's my thing. They are a bit, they're going to be tricky to color, challenging, but it is beautiful. Look at that. An art room, maybe? For those of you who have art rooms. That is the penguin. Absolutely adorable. I love this page. It's a nice one to start with, a nice simple one to get a hang of how to color in this book. But again, beautiful paper. All these Amazon Japan books are just such good quality. Again, it is perforated, so hopefully they don't come apart when I'm coloring. Don't think I've had any Amazon Japan, any books from Amazon Japan that are perforated. Can you see the whole? Pretty much. Hopefully that's okay for you guys. I love this page. I absolutely love it. Flower shop. And then you get some landscape ones, which can I show you? Sort of, yeah. A market. Another landscape one. What's he doing? Ah, self-portrait, painting himself. Adorable. So an art room again, creating. Beautiful. That's fun. Lots happening on this page. Look at all those bubbles, and we have little chicks there. We have bears. That's the bear that I was trying to look for, who is blowing the bubbles. So we have the bear there that's blowing the bubbles, but you can see how tiny the details are. We have a postman. That's looks like a pigeon to me, maybe. Some chicks there. So yeah. Hot dog stand. It's so cute. It is going to be fun to color, but it will take a while. That's a little bit simpler. That's nice. Kuma garden. That is nice. So cute. I do like this book. Again, oh my goodness. Look at, I was just about to say again, it's quite a lot of tiny details, and you can see that on this page very clearly. So again, my coloring style will have to be different. To tackle these pages. I'm not going to be able to get those details in, basically, that I like to get in. But that's okay. Maybe I'll just be able to do more simple colouring in this book. In all three of these books so far. Beautiful. I actually really like it. It was a nice pick. Now, like I said, I don't usually just buy books these days without looking at flip-throughs. I wait. Depending on the artist, like Curake, I knew I was going to love it, so that's why I decided to do the shop. And then I saw these books and I'm like, okay, I think they're worth, you know, taking a plunge, you know, risking it. And I think they're good. It's just going to take a lot of time. They'll be fun to color though. There's so many different elements on them to color. Look at that, a toy shop, Christmas toy shop. Beautiful. Cooking. I think, was that the one at the back? Yeah, look at that color palette. It'll be so fun to try and replicate that. It looks like watercolor paint, doesn't it? It doesn't look like pencil work. But whether it's possible for me to learn how to do that, or whether the paper takes it, we don't know yet. So we'll have to try it out. But I could use my watercolor pencil, my Albert Durers off a palette as a paint, so that might be something to consider. I'll just have to try it out. Party. So cute. It's a nice book. It's definitely a nice book, but not for those who don't like detail and tiny elements. Definitely not. Look at that. Look at the detail in that. It's cute. Is that Christmas? Very nice. Such a innocent, fun, warm, you know, all cozy, you know, feelings from this book. Beautiful. Oh, sorry. That was the last page. Yeah. And again, you get a dust jacket. Very simple front and back cover. Yeah. All right, and that's the book. Kuma Country's Kuma Coloring Book by Chip. The artist, I think, is Chip, and when I tried to translate this, it said something like Bear Country Coloring Book. Okay, All right, last book, guys, and the one I actually did this shop for, and this is Kanoko Igusa's Leon's Journey. I was so excited. Now, I've barely colored in any of her other 3 books that I have. I've probably done the most would be 2 pages in each of the book. Maybe in one of the books, just 1 page, but I could not miss out on her book because her artwork is absolutely beautiful. Now, she's not taken out a book for so long and she's done such a good job. Like, there's so many pages here to color. I'm glad she didn't go for like just a small thin book. It's going to keep us busy for a long time. But yeah, beautiful book. I've had a quick flip and now I'm going to look through it again with you guys. So again, we have a dust cover here. That's the front cover, and the size of the book is pretty much the same. It is the same as her first 2 books, Rhapsody in the Forest and Minuet de Bonheur. That's the back cover. Yeah, and then that's the ISBN in case you want that. And let's get into it. All right, I'll try not to spend too much time because yeah, it's a long haul. I don't usually do flip throughs in a haul, but because I had 4 books, I didn't want to, you know, release 4 different flip throughs. So Leon's Journey, beautiful. The paper feels nice. Again, I haven't tested anything out yet, but my Arbor Duras tend to work for me in a lot of books. So I don't always test out my mediums straight away because, yeah, usually they're okay. I can figure it out with them. Other than Erie's English edition book, for Romantic Country, which one was it? 2? I struggled in that book, but now I figured out that book as well. But look at this. So it's about Leon, which is a cat, so that's absolutely adorable. Although, yeah, I think I'll try and figure out the fur and then save the color combination so that I don't have to think about it in every single page. I know a lot of people would not do that because it becomes boring, but for me it becomes a little bit less stressful to tackle the pages because for me fur is challenging. So I will try and figure out color palettes, figure out how to do the first strokes, all of that, and save them. We have another cat here called Lily. Oh, and we have a little mouse called Marie. And I'm assuming, basically I haven't translated any of this. We have 2 dogs here, Latte and Mocha. Perfect, so cute. And we have an owl. I'm not going to crack the spine, guys. I never do. It's going to eventually lay flat when I start coloring. That's Baron, which is an owl. And then we have Kanoko's beautiful art style. I absolutely love her work, and I think a lot of people do. She's just absolutely amazing at what she does. We've got a nice wreath there. I love that we have the frogs. So she doesn't only bring the furry animals in, which is good. So at least there are some pages that you can tackle a little bit easier if you don't like to do fur or find fur challenging like me. I love that she does these full page scenes. That's so me. I just love tackling pages like that. How adorable is that? That's perfect for springtime. These are so cute. Oops, sorry. Shouldn't spend too much time. A day in the life of Leon. Nice. So little snippets. So that's the other thing. So she has in this particular book gone a bit different in that, yes, she's got her big, you know, full pages, but she's done some pages which have the little individual little illustrations. So for those of you who do like those small wins, you have that in this book. So it's really nice that she's done that because it basically gives something for everyone. Beautiful. And then she's gone through the seasons in this book and she's sectioned it into like collections. So we have, I think we're going into the spring collection now. That's beautiful. So again, the little small illustrations for people who like to color those small ones. And then you have your full page ones. And then we have some pages like this where they're actually, you know, bordered out, which is really nice as well. So you don't have to worry about trying to figure out how to integrate it. You just color those separate elements. You can use similar colors to make the whole page cohesive, but you don't need to worry about a background and how to tie them in together, you know. That's where I struggle sometimes when we have elements like this. I never know what to do with the background. So in a page like this, it makes it a bit easier for me to tackle. I really like that, actually. I love this page, of course. She doesn't normally have people in her books. She has a little girl here. Half of a little girl. So cute. And this is what I'm saying, like she does some illustrations which don't have the fur element on it, which is nice. At least it gives a few people like me a page that we can work on without having to worry about fur. Love that. I'm going to love every page of hers, but yeah, so cute. We have a wreath. Now this one reminds me of one of the pages I've already colored in a her Coloring Heaven magazine, Enchanted Animals. Now, one good thing is, which a lot of artists do, is they've done some illustrations and then they put it into a book that they're going to, you know, publish, which Kanoko hasn't actually done. She's got maybe a handful of illustrations from that Coloring Heaven in this book, but the rest of the pages are absolutely new. Now that Coloring Heaven may have had, is it 30 or how many pages do they usually have? 30 or 35 pages? I can't remember. But she's not put all those 35 pages in this book, which, okay, some people might feel they're missing out because I think it's sold out. But for people who did get the Coloring Heaven, at least we have a whole set of new illustrations. So I love that she hasn't just copy-pasted into a book. That's just amazing. She's just outdone herself, I think, on this book. I think it's my favorite one of her books now as well. But yeah, this illustration does look similar to the one I did color, the wreath I did color in Coloring Heaven, because I remember the pomegranate. I loved coloring the pomegranate. I don't know if it's an exact copy though, but yeah. And then these ones again, beautiful. I love hummingbirds. It's nice. I feel like I remember this sort of illustration as well, but it's beautiful, isn't it? Look at this book. That, I just love her pages like that. Beautiful. And this is absolutely adorable. Absolutely adorable. Just keeps getting better. Hopefully we don't have to wait for too long before her next book, because I just love seeing her artwork, even if I don't get around to coloring them as much. So this is a different way of her doing small little illustrations, like a gift tag, you know. So gift tags and little pictures. It's really nice, very interesting, not just the squares like she's done in some of the others. It's a different way of doing it, which is beautiful. I love that. Look at that. And I just love how she draws everything. Her animals, her florals, her leaves, her fruits, her food, the vegetables. Look at it. It's just everything she draws is perfect. Now again, I feel like this page definitely is in the Coloring Heaven, and maybe this one. So those of you who do have that Coloring Heaven edition, Enchanted Animals, you might be able to correct me if I'm wrong. And that one. Although the Coloring Heaven is like almost an A4, slightly bigger than an A4. These are so cute. And I love how she just puts like this stopwatch, this clock, this watch, pocket watch there, a timer there, just random elements, and it just works. And it just gives you something different to color. I love that. That is very spring. Very spring with the umbrella and the bucket. I think this is beautiful. That's nice. Rainy day passion for animals. So adorable. So creative. And then we have, again, the little snippets, but they're little scenes and separate scenes. So you don't have to tie it together. Although it looks like he's running, Leon is running there and running. So I don't know. You could see if you want to tie it in. But yeah, you could color them as separate little elements, you know. It's beautiful. That's a nice scene. I just love her work, and I think a lot of it is because, yes, the cute aspect of it and obviously her art style, but then the fact that she has so many scenes to color. Obviously we can translate that with Google Translate. Maybe it's going into summer. Yeah, it's a summer collection. So again, for those of you who like the little wins. So a lot of artists are actually doing that now. But it's nice that it's not, for me, it's nice that it's not a full book on those sort of tiny elements. I know some people would like that, but I do really enjoy these big pages to color. Like I said, I like the big elements to color. So I like that she's got the variety. She's got basically something for everyone in this book. That's so cute. She just draws everything beautifully. I think these two are in the Coloring Heaven. So those of you who didn't get that Coloring Heaven and it's sold out, you have got some beautiful pages from that book in this book. And I think there's some of my favorites actually from that book, which is included here. That's nice. So this is very summery. Perfect summer feel. Balloons. Yes, I feel like that one might have been, or a similar type of this in the Coloring Heaven. Whether she's tweaked it a little bit, I'm not so sure. Tourism. Love it. And then this one is similar to some of the other books now, where you have the teeny tiny pages. Where do we live? Oh, okay, so different places. Egypt there, maybe Australia, Japan, maybe? Madagascar? So yeah, I won't be able to identify all of them, but beautiful. I'm never disappointed with her work. I think it's absolutely stunning. That's so cool as well. Just every animal in here. Look, we have tiger there as well. This one, I feel like this part here looks familiar to me, but not the whole page. I'm not sure. That's so cool. Beautiful book, guys. Definitely happy to have this book. I'm so glad. And she's poured her heart into it. You can tell. She's just, yeah, she's not rushed it. She's taken her time. She hasn't, like I said, just copy pasted the pages she had already colored for her Coloring Heaven into this book. So it's not just a duplicate. So it's absolutely perfect, this book. That one is in the Coloring Heaven, and I always admire it. I think it's going to be such a fun page to color, and on better paper, so that's good. Then we go into autumn. I always love her autumn pages. It's beautiful. Look at all those mushrooms. I love it. We have a horse, a pig, a hen, so many different animals to color. Love that. Birds, everything. That's a page I've got as a whip in the Coloring Heaven. So that's in the Coloring Heaven. Again, one of my favorite pages in that Coloring Heaven. So I think whatever pages she's included in this book, they're actually really nice pages. They're probably my favorite pages from the Coloring Heaven that are in this book, which is good because I get to do it on nicer paper. So yeah, that one's a whip in that book for me. Just trying to remember if, yeah, I think it's exactly the same. It's so cute. Look at that. Look at that face. Oh, I like it. I really like this page. So this is sort of, yeah, Halloween-y, isn't it? It's autumn, so Halloween. Actually not. It's a restaurant. I thought maybe they're you know, making a potion or something, but it's not. It's I don't think so. I think it's just a kitchen. Cute. Again, you can read what that is. Translate it. Google Translate it. Nice little snippets again. So a bit Halloween-y now. Beautiful. A little dragon here, guys. Okay, she can draw dragons as well. That would be nice. Like maybe in one of her books she should do more dragons. I bet you she'll do beautiful ones of that as well. Stunning. Her pages are challenging, but I think they're doable. Like they have so many elements in them that anyone could color. Yes, there is the fur, but other than that, I think such beautiful, the way she draws is just so beautiful. Winter collection. So we're going into winter now. So it's nice that she's gone through the season. So it's a book for the entire year. Look at the coffees. That's beautiful. Look at that. Really nice. The perspective is really nice. Christmas. A wreath of baubles. Very unique. A black background page. An advent calendar. Yeah, an advent calendar. So you could do a little window every day if you wanted as an advent calendar. So cute. Good idea. Whoops. Lovely. Her illustrations are just out of this world. So beautiful. She's so talented. And she shares, like she appreciates when you color her pages. She shares them on Instagram. It's just so nice when an artist does that. Like they don't have to. But when they do that and when they interact with, you know, the people who are coloring in their books, it's just so amazing. These are beautiful, guys. And then again, some little snippets. So every season had some pages with little snippets and busy page. So that's beautiful. And then, is that the last page? Because that looks like all the seasons. No, it's not the last page. So to me, that looks like spring, summer with the tube and the shell, autumn and winter. And also the trees. Look at that. It's going into leafless trees. So that's quite interesting. I don't know how I would tackle that, but I absolutely love that idea. I just don't know how I would tackle it with how do you do the background? It'll be so interesting. I bet you some people are going to do beautiful versions of this page, going from like green leaves into the yellowy, orangey leaves into leafless tree. Beautiful. It's going to be so amazing to see what people do with that page. That's nice. Looking from outside in. We've had some of the pages where you're inside looking out. I've colored one of them, a bedroom, but this one is nice. Thank you. That's the last page. Look at that. She's really thought about her pages and where she's putting them in the book, and she's ended with a page as a thank you to us for buying the book. How nice is that? So lovely. Beautiful. And then, like she usually has, at the back of her book is the Tantorn sort of paper color. Not the actual cardstock. It's still not as thick, but some sort of postcard sized. Okay, smaller than. So postcard sized illustrations there, which is beautiful. And then some smaller ones, greeting cards, or what would you call it? Yeah, sort of like a greeting card. Illustrations there. I've never colored any of them. I will one day. And then that's it, guys. And my dust sleeve has come off. There we go. All right, beautiful book. Definitely worth having in the collection, and definitely worth the wait. It's taken her a while to do this a new book for us. I guess she did the Coloring Heaven, but not everyone. It's not that easy to get the Coloring Heaven, and then when they're sold out, they sell out quite fast, and then you don't, have access to them. So it's nice that we've finally got a new book from her. So yeah, there you go, guys. That's my haul. Thank you for my Happy Mail. Thank you for the review books. Thank you to myself for buying some books from Amazon Japan. Some of them are too detailed, like I'll have to figure out my coloring, but this one I was waiting for Leon's journey, and it's absolutely beautiful. All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's been a long one because I flipped through 4 books for you guys, but hopefully you enjoyed it and enjoyed the chat. For those of you who don't like the chat, sorry, I should have said earlier on that just let me know if you want to see a silent flip through, but there we go. And yeah, I will be back with you guys again soon. So until the next video, take care. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.